Wilfredo Benitez, one of boxing's most brilliant minds and the youngest three-division world champion in history, is known for his precision, speed, and tactical genius in the ring. But even legends have their rivals, fighters who frustrated, challenged, or even angered them to their core. At 63, Benitez finally revealed 6 boxers he hated the most, not out of malice, but because of the challenges, grudges, and fierce rivalries that shaped his career. This isn't just about wins and losses. It's about emotion, ego, and the personal battles that exist beyond the gloves. In this video, we'll dive into each of these 6 fighters, exploring the rivalries, unforgettable bouts, and the moments that made Benitez develop his strong feelings. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to catch every shocking revelation from the world of boxing. 6. Marvin Hagler. When Wilfredo Benitez reflected on the fighters he hated the most, his comments about Marvin Hagler came from a place of deep professional frustration, not personal malice. Hagler represented a style Benitez despised fighting, a brutal, suffocating pressure fighter who offered no breathing room, no tactical pauses, no moments to reset. What truly irritated Benitez was Hagler's emotional intensity. Hagler fought every second of every round as if he had something to prove to the world. That relentlessness clashed with Benitez's own identity as a defensive genius who preferred calm, control, and perfect timing. Hagler, on the other hand, wanted chaos and created it effortlessly. Benitez often described watching Hagler's fights and feeling tension just imagining being in front of him. Hagler didn't just beat opponents physically, he broke their rhythm, confidence, and strategy. To Benitez, that was infuriating. He once admitted that even preparing for a hypothetical Hagler fight caused stress, because Hagler didn't allow you to be yourself in the ring. He forced you into his world, his pace, and his violence. That psychological suffocation is why Hagler earned a place on this list. In Benitez's mind, few fighters were as mentally exhausting, even from a distance. 5. Sugar Ray Leonard. Benitez's complicated feelings toward Sugar Ray Leonard go back to their 1979 showdown, a fight drenched in strategy, ego, and mutual brilliance. Benitez didn't hate Leonard as a man. He hated the experience of fighting him. Leonard had something few fighters possessed, the ability to make elite opponents feel ordinary. What infuriated Benitez most was Leonard's timing, the slick feints, the sudden bursts, the ability to switch gears without warning. All of this disrupted the rhythm Benitez depended on. Leonard never gave him continuity. Every time Benitez tried to build momentum, Leonard interrupted it with a perfectly placed jab or a lightning-fast combination. The psychological torment was real. Benitez prided himself on his ring IQ, yet Leonard made him work harder mentally than almost any opponent. Leonard's confidence also irritated him. The smiles, the swagger, the showmanship. Benitez was a purist, Leonard was a performer, and that clash of personalities made the fight feel personal. Even decades later, Benitez admitted that Leonard was the one opponent who could make him feel both challenged and annoyed at the same time. Fighting him was a chess match, but one where Leonard always had an extra piece on the board. 4. Roberto Duran. Few fighters triggered Wilfredo Benitez's irritation more deeply than Roberto Duran. Duran was a storm, unpredictable, violent, emotional, and Benitez hated storms. He had built his career on control, balance, and reading his opponents like open books. But Duran? Duran was a book written in fire. What bothered Benitez most was Duran's constant aggression. There was never a moment of peace in the ring. No lull. No chance to reorganize his thoughts. Duran pressured like he wanted to tear through an opponent's soul. To Benitez, that type of intensity was both a tactical nightmare and a personal irritation. Outside the ring, Duran's personality didn't make things easier. Loud, proud, fiery. He exuded the kind of energy Benitez disliked. He once joked that Duran could walk into a quiet room and somehow start an argument with the air. And yet, beneath the irritation was respect. Benitez understood that Duran's aggression came from genius, from instinct, from a lifetime of fighting to survive. But that didn't make it any less maddening to face. To Benitez, Duran was the embodiment of the kind of fighter he always tried to avoid: relentless, unpredictable, and emotionally overwhelming. 3. Thomas Hearns. When Wilfredo Benitez spoke about fighters he truly hated preparing for, Thomas Hearns was always near the top. Hearns wasn't just dangerous. He was the type of dangerous that stole sleep from opponents. His freakish combination of height, reach, and destructive power made him a puzzle few boxers could solve. Benitez hated that Hearns could change a fight with one punch. Everything about Hearns forced caution. The jab that felt like a power shot, the right hand that could end careers, the range that made opponents feel like children trying to punch upward. Benitez thrived on controlling space, angles, and tempo. Hearns took all of that away. The mental preparation was brutal. Benitez admitted that studying Hearns footage was psychologically draining, because Hearns didn't just win fights, he erased opponents. You couldn't make many mistakes against him. Sometimes, you couldn't make any. Their actual fight was even worse. Hearns' power and reach disrupted Benitez's rhythm from the opening bell. Every adjustment Benitez tried to make, Hearns countered with something sharper and longer. It wasn't fear Benitez felt, it was frustration. Pure, strategic frustration. Hearns represented everything Benitez hated: unpredictability, danger, and a style designed to dismantle defensive masters. 2. Edwin Rosario. Wilfredo Benitez had faced pressure fighters, punchers, brawlers, and technicians. But Pernell Whitaker was something else entirely. He was the one fighter Benitez admitted he hated even imagining stepping into the ring with, because Whitaker represented the mirror image of everything Benitez himself had mastered. And for a defensive genius, nothing is more irritating than someone who can beat you at your own game. Whitaker didn't just avoid punches, he dissolved them. His slip and slide rhythm made opponents feel foolish, like they were shadowboxing a ghost. Benitez once said that Whitaker's head movement was insulting, not because it was bad, but because it was too good. Every missed punch, every whiff of air, became a reminder that Whitaker controlled the fight. What truly got under Benitez's skin was Whitaker's confidence. He grinned, he showboated, he played with timing the way a jazz musician bends notes. Benitez, usually the calmest man in the ring, disliked how Whitaker turned boxing into a playful art form, as if the stakes were never high. Whitaker was also physically frustrating. A southpaw with speed, accuracy, and a rhythm designed to dismantle even elite defensive fighters. What Benitez feared most was that Whitaker could make even great champions look ordinary. Facing him would have been like looking into a distorted mirror, seeing your strengths reflected back at you, but amplified. That's why Whitaker ranks so high on Benitez's most hated list, not because of animosity, but because of the deep, unnerving knowledge that Whitaker might have beaten him at his own masterpiece: pure, technical boxing. 1. Wilfredo Gomez. At the top of the list was Wilfredo Gomez, a compatriot and legendary figure in his own right. Benitez explained that the rivalry was personal, born from national pride, overlapping weight divisions, and a competitive fire that could not be extinguished. Facing Gomez meant contending with his ferocity, experience, and precision. Benitez admitted that no other fighter frustrated or challenged him as much. Gomez's ability to exploit even the smallest mistake made him, in Benitez's eyes, the most hated rival. Wilfredo Benitez's list of hated opponents reminds us that even legends have their demons. These 6 fighters weren't just rivals. They were challenges that tested his skill, patience, and resolve. Boxing isn't just physical. It's emotional, psychological, and intensely personal. For Benitez, the men on this list represented the ultimate tests of his talent, shaping the champion he became. Make sure to subscribe and hit the bell icon to uncover more insider stories from boxing legends and relive the unforgettable rivalries that defined a generation.